Match finishes 1-1. Casemiro, by the way, picking up a yellow card in the game, so he'll miss Manchester United's showdown with Arsenal's as Crystal Palace and United share the points. We take a look at the top half of the Premier League. Arsenal still sitting pretty ahead of everybody as Manchester United now into second place. For more on this, we welcome into the show Jan Åge Fjørtoft and Gab Marcotti. Gentlemen, great to have you with us. But Craig, I'll start with you. What did you make of Manchester United's performance?
Do you know, just before that Elise free kick, I was going to say, this is solid from Man United. Controlled the first half, controlled possession. Palace are struggling in the front line. The final third, they don't create a lot. And it looked really, really comfortable. Yeah, they were under a bit more pressure in the second half. You can criticise them for not killing the game off. A super free kick to finish it. But yeah, I think you saw it with Ten Hag's face at the end. Just 2 points thrown away.
Can you criticise the approach? Like at 1-0, not going for that second goal?
No, I think they did. And I think Rashford got himself in some good positions and maybe tried to overcomplicate it a little bit. I'm trying to... and they definitely, for me, should have had a penalty. When McTominay went down from the Richards challenge, obviously it was checked. They said nothing to see here. But yeah, they just did not kill the game off. And they've been really, really solid, actually, for the last, 10 or so games. But today, a body blow right at the end. And as I say, chasing Arsenal, that's a big blow.
Jan, what was missing today for Manchester United?
The intensity of the game, and as Craig was saying, not to kill off the game. But I think at this stage of the development of Manchester United, they're not good at that. Okay, in all competition, they won 9 in a row now before this game. But it was quite typical that goal Manchester United scored. That was Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen. They were like playing in the park. I mean, show the quality, pass forward and back, and suddenly Fernandes makes that 1-0. But there was terrible 9 minutes for them. First, he was shaking his head, Ten Hag, for like 1 minute after Casemiro got that 4th yellow card. And then Olise, I mean, what a free kick. But somehow, in the second half, you got the feeling that Crystal Palace got more and more confidence that they could get something out of it. But still, they needed something special to earn themselves a point.
Gab, we applauding Crystal Palace, or are we focusing here on the 2 points dropped by Manchester United?
Well, it's tough. I mean, there was also, I guess, the chance in the first half where De Gea made a brilliant save off of Edouard, which I thought was against the run of play. But and look, I think while it's going to smart, the fact that you could have been potentially, if you beat Arsenal on Sunday, you could have been 2 points, 3 points back as of Sunday night. Instead, you're going to be a lot further back. And your chances of beating Arsenal are going to be much lower without Casemiro. But let's not forget, this was a team that they were playing a center forward who was making his debut for them, and Wout Weghorst, who's very different from the guys they had before. That's going to take time. So, I mean, for me, I think we give United a pass on this one after those 9 wins in a row.
And I felt United had a good shout for a penalty there. I really did.
Jan, you agree?
No, I don't agree. I think it was not a penalty. But having said that, I don't think McTominay was looking for a penalty. It was not a dive or something. I think that Richards got that little touch on the ball, and then he got a bit McTominay out of balance, and then he goes down. They checked it, and I think they saw that. I've seen it many, many times now, and I see that little touch on the ball, and maybe that was VAR not giving it. But I mean, you couldn't. I mean, if they gave it, we wouldn't say that it was a big mistake from the referee. But I don't feel that was a penalty.
Jan, what about your boy Wout Weghorst? We got to see him today. What do you think of his performance?
Well, first of all, it's interesting with Weghorst because he's a tall guy. Everybody thinks he's a fantastic header of the ball. He's not, but he's much better with his feet than people think. And for the game today, Ten Hag was asked, "So we're going to do a lot of crosses now?" No. That is not his game. So they have bought or got in a link-up player. He's a very good link-up player. He's also good. He's good at impressing the ball. So Ten Hag will make him a lot better in the game today. It's interesting. before this game that Manchester United had the least crosses in the whole Premier League. But when you get a tall guy up front, you start crossing the ball. He was okay. He had a good game, had some links. He had a heading that was not a big chance, but that was his big chance. But he's been in Manchester for 2 days, and I'm 100% sure that Ten Hag will improve him. And not only will he improve him, I also think that he will improve Manchester United.
Craig, can I read you something here from Ten Hag after the game? I have to criticize my team. Go for the second. Bruno and Rashi on the wings. Garnacho, a lot of creativity, speed and power, and McTominay with penetration behind. Is he being too harsh there?
Well, he set standards. They've set some standards. And he's disappointed. It's the end of the game. He's talking to the press or the TV. He wanted the 3 points, clearly. The free kick was a body blow. They had a debutant in, as Gab mentioned. Anthony, again, was also just okay on the wing. So, yeah, I think it's just a reaction to the way they dropped the points and the fact that he's going to be missing Casemiro for the Arsenal game.
Go on, Gab.
No, I agree with Craig. I think he's being a little bit harsh. Let's not forget also that Palace have so much pace and so much one-to-one ability on the counterattack. So, it's easy to sit here and say, oh, well, they should have gone with a second. It's not like, you're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor here. You're playing Crystal Palace, who I think can be a good side. And in the end, you were undone by a worldie of a free kick, in stoppage time. So, in those circumstances, I mean, I think it's difficult to go over the top of the criticism.
I mean, it's not too long ago, guys, that they were going to West London and getting smashed at Brentford. I mean, it's a fair amount of time, but it's not 18 months ago. It's a few months. So I think they've come a long way. There was a lot of, I would say, getting carried away after the Man City game, but maybe...
It's been a good run of form. It's been a good run.
It's been a great run of form. And, there's been talk of the title race, and we embellished that as well ourselves, and so did I. And that may be the case, but there's no doubt at the moment, particularly Arsenal are the proper package, and United they're a work in progress. Yeah. That's what they are. Now, I thought they were going to see this game out at Crystal Palace, but they didn't, and that's something I just have to reflect on.
Jan, last word to you on United here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Craig and myself, we talked about this for a long time, and then it's a work in progress. I think that they go in the right direction. They define the roles in the team. That's why he got in Weghorst, because that kind of player he wants to have in his team. When you define your roles in the team, it's also easier to buy players, to get players in. Manchester United have given out a lot of money for players, but maybe not the players they needed for that position, but because the philosophy of the coach wasn't that clear. You can see what Ten Hag is trying to do. He's pragmatic. He's not like this Ajax kind of coach that wants to do everything like by Ajax. At the moment, it's all about winning games. And I think he will admit that they are not title contenders yet because they don't have this ability to kill off football games.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.